We're ready for naps.
Our bellies are full. We're ready for naps.
It's the first lunch break we've ever gotten in like 3 years doing the show, 2 years doing the show.
Yeah, I mean we're not buying lunch for the the workers.
I think it's mandatory now. We're successful enough.
I am tired. We were off for a week. This is so nice when we're off for a week. People get mad. We had some people sign up for PFL picks. Look, if you guys are signing up for PFL picks, don't sign up. Like that's an additional like perk. But
no, I mean people get that kind of stuff. That's fine. I was just a little slow with it. It was a hard week for me. So my mom actually just came to town for my promotion.
Oh wait. Oh, I know. She was telling me you're telling her the advice I give you. I give Brandon girl advice, but Brandon tells his mom, but only like doesn't explain any of it at all. And then his mom is like, "What are you doing telling my son this and this and that?" And I'm like, well, if it's taken out of context, it sounds bad, but I didn't mean that.
My mom's just as crazy as all my exes.
All moms?
Oh yeah. She's equal there, but she's my mom and I have to love her. But she's like, yeah, you always say how busy you are. And she's like, yeah, but like, you don't like sit at a desk and like do this kind of stuff. And then she goes, then I'm around you. And I'm like, man, you're always doing something. You're always busy. So it took me a while to get to PFL, and actually PFL, I did good. So I didn't get to watch all of PFL. Because I was at the belt ceremony. I made you drive to give me my black belt.
Made me drive on a Friday is our family night. My whole family came out to watch you get promoted.
Yeah, but your fam loves me, so there you go. It's family night in a different way.
Man.
So I am now Santino DeFranco black belt. Just me and the zombie. Dude. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
I had a full thing planned that I was going to say, and you never gave me the opportunity to speak. And so you said what you had to say, and I was like. And then you're like, Brandon will leave us, come up here and get your black belt. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah.
Oh, you want to know what's funny?
I was kind of waiting for that too. Yeah.
You didn't like, it didn't seem like you wanted to say anything and nobody else was really saying anything. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll just ride with this.
You can just tell me in private.
Yeah.
No, dude,
whisper it into his ear.
I was just going to talk about how we hate each other for no reason before we ever became friends. And just tell that whole story. And then I just watched the opportunity just slip through my fingers. And next thing I knew, you were up and you had the black belt on already.
I know. I was like, all right.
Slipped through your fingers because it was gripped tight in my hand.
Well, congrats, brother.
Thank you so much. It was awesome. I'm honored. It's been a long time. If I think about this now, it's been exactly half of my life I've been training jiu-jitsu. I started when I was 14 and I'm about to be 28.
Quit now.
Yeah,
You're
I'm done.
Dumb.
I've hit it and now it's over. But so anyways, back to the PFL stuff. A couple people asked for PFL picks. I wasn't like super on it early in the week. And then that night I did a little crash course. We crushed everything. I made $15,000 while I was getting my black belt. Went to dinner. I'm like, oh shit, all this stuff cashed. So sorry guys. And then I ended up losing everything on the boxing fight, which was insane.
That was nuts. So I haven't followed boxing closely in a while. Like I do like Devin Haney. Beautiful jab, beautiful clean boxer. And I do not follow social media much or any of this stuff, but just the little bit that I do, I just hear like the Ryan Garcia's crazy. And you just see the excerpts in the public shit. And then watching him just dismantle Haney like that was
insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. I think they should have stopped that.
Oh, 100%. That was corruption. Like I see a lot of people complaining about it. Like, whatever. That was bad. We even had our boxing coach. He goes, yeah, our guy was the A-side guy and he got dropped. And the referee kept like going over to the guy, to the other guy and was like, hey, get back to your fucking corner. Get back to your corner.
Stalling him out.
To give the A-side guy way more time to recover and come to. And then even took a point from him. That's crazy. It's funny. Actually, after the first knockdown, I started slamming Haney, live betting his decision because I was like, man, he's rocked. He's not going to have that power to put him away. And we're going.
Haney doesn't have power anyway. He's 31 before the other day. 31 wins, 31-0, 15 knockouts.
And all that's on the
early side of everything. And then you look at Garcia. I think it was like 24-1 before that with like 20 knockouts, something like that. So
yeah, and I think the thing was obviously, Ryan's crazy. He might run out of the ring. He might do anything, which honestly, all very valid. The dude came to fight. He's got to support his cocaine addiction somehow.
He's out of his mind.
Oh, crazy. I heard he has crippling gambling debt. So he has to pay it somehow. So like he needs to fight. And I kept live betting. Haney decision. And then he got dropped again, like 30 seconds after I placed it. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I ended up losing everything that I had made on PFL. I wiped the whole slate clean.
No way.
And then we had church on Sunday, Fury Sunday. And we swept the board.
Nice.
Good. It was good. Yeah.
It's a good day. Well, let's get into this card because I got to go pick up my kids. I'm wifeless for 2 weeks.
Congrats or sad?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a thing. I'm kind of freaking out. I have too much life to do and too many kids to do it on my own.
They're old enough to figure it out now.
I hope so. Before we get in this card, this episode is brought to you by Fight Chalk, fightchalk.com. All the odds, compare odds of all the sports books, get all of the tape study for all of the fights, and get all of your pros picks all in one place, all for free.
There's a lot of really good fight numbers on there.
There's a lot of numbers, a lot of things, and fightchalk.com. Let's go. Let's get into this. Wait. Before we get into this, we have 2 fighters on the card.
Okay.
Jonathan Pierce and Mahashate. I love having 2 fighters on the card, but the thing about it is, you know how much I love women's MMA and taping women's MMA, and I never miss a day to not tape women's MMA when I have the time.
So you're saying you substituted the 2 fights for Marnic Mann?
Yes, and because we had 2 people fighting on the card, I'm already pressed for time, and there's 1,700 women's fights on this card. And I was like, well, I can't tape 1 fight. So I had to watch all of the women's MMA fights on this card, which I think is going to lead to me in the future having less time to tape women's MMA.
I was going to say, how was that for you?
It was brutal.
It's not that bad.
It was brutal.
All right, let's get going.
Let's go.
All right. You guys are going to have to bear with me today, man. I told you guys before the show, but I got to let the audience know I didn't study how to pronounce the names. So you guys are going to have to hang in there with me.
Practices in the mirror before he comes in.
Over and over.
Bruce Buffer over here.
Reps.
360s.
So we're going to start with the second fight then, right? We're not talking about Gabriel Benitez.
Yeah. I mean, we have Gabriel Benitez and Maha. Apparently that's the first fight. Maha, all I have to say about Maha right now is he came in the gym today and he has blonde hair.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was Elvis Brenner or a Mahashate. And I was like, whoa, all of a sudden we're shootbox. So you do that with what you will.
Maha knockout, KO1. Book it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how you could not. And he's never going to get tired anymore.
Okay. I think we just outed ourselves. Anyways, USADA, come by.
No, USADA. Yeah. EPO Maha. I mean, wait, what? Nah, we're just kidding. He does have blonde hair, which threw me off. And he's super nice and he's very tall.
He let me just we did jiu-jitsu the other day and he just like let me maul him because he's so nice. Like,
yeah.
He thought it would offend me like if he like, gave me any resistance.
It's funny because he tries to take my head off every time I roll with him. Haley, not so much, a little bit. AQ tries to choke me and Maha tries to win too.
Me and Richie Liang stood in the middle of the gym today and just swung hammers at each other.
Max Holloway just pointed?
Yep, we did that. He always does that. Okay. And we just swing.
All right, what do we have next?
All right, so we got Ivana Petrovic minus 550 versus Liang plus 410.
All right, I'm going to go first. It's the first time I've ever taped a women's fight. Liang is horrible. Oh my gosh.
She's explosive.
Like explosive, wiggly, maybe fast even, but explosive, not the adjective I would use.
She got firepower.
She is horrible. And Petrovic, they list her as a kickboxer. Her hands aren't bad, but she will grapple. And her, man, I think she's a lot better than but I don't know if she has the power or the finishing ability. She'll scramble on top. She will push her way into a body lock. Is just so wild and weird and will just like do stuff and end up on the bottom. I like Petrovic here. It's insane to me to see that her at minus 500 or minus 550 against anyone, just given her skill set. But against Liang, I think that's probably a little wide, but I do like her here. And I'm just so low on Liang. It's hard for me to think.
Everybody's low on her. This is a free layup for everybody. There's a lot of shots, dog shots I like on this card. And this, I don't think is obviously one of them.
Yeah.
She's a 115-pound woman. How much power does she have? Submission wise, I think Petrovic is actually her grappling.
Decent,
yeah, it's the best part of her game.
But she'll entangle legs a little too much without the ability to finish.
I can't blame her for losing to Anderson Silva. Like, just can't.
You can't.
Luana Carolina's. Hey, somebody's trying to give you credit for saying that.
No, that wasn't me.
That was me.
That was Brandon.
Luana Carolina Anderson Silva.
And it was probably the same person that was like, I can't believe you mentioned Luana and Anderson in the same sentence together.
Isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
It was just a joke, but like, honestly, she's been looking great. She's been a money train. She beat Lupi. She beat Petrovic. She beat
And Petrovic looked a lot better than some of the other girls did against Luana.
Honestly, Luana's takedown defense getting better.
Yeah.
She can grapple, and she just kind of boom swings bangs.
She got that Anderson swag.
She does. She really does. Yeah, I like Petrovic here. Interesting that you say that, like her lack of finishing ability. I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe Fight Chalk can tell us, is the over-under listed at 1.5 or 2.5?
It's not. It's probably not listed on there. You probably have to go to the book to
I'm not
see
seeing
it.
here.
The unnamed book until we get a sponsorship, Dave Mason.
Yep, always unnamed. Yeah, I can't imagine it would be under 1.5 on that.
No, usually
You
Na
think so?
Liang's fights are always at
Yeah.
1.5.
Okay. Either way, I like
Because that would be an interesting over if it's listed at 1.5. Do we have a okay.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks.
All right, cool. Next, we got Marnic Mann plus 275 versus Ketlen Souza minus 345.
I admittedly I played Marnic here. I know that's crazy and that's rough, but
Wait, sorry. What were the odds again?
The odds are Mann plus 275, Souza minus 345.
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I just made just burnt money for no reason or if there's actually some validity here. And the way that I'm seeing it, so first of all, Souza is moving down to 115 for the first time in a while. She was fighting at 125 before. Honestly, she looked really undersized there, I thought. So now she'll probably be a decent size for 115. Marnic's tiny. The issue that I have with Souza, she has great cardio. I mean, she went 5-minute rounds at altitude in Denver, never stopped throwing the whole time, pressing forward. But she does a lot of stuff that ends her up on her back. And Marnic is a lot of things. She's not overly skilled, but she's mean and she gets on top and she punches hard. I personally, I don't know. I can see this fight playing out much closer than the odds suggest, just because Marnic is tough and she is mean and she will grapple, even if she's not as clear and concise. And I don't know. I don't think Souza is a minus 300 kind of fighter. I picked her against Karine Silva, and in hindsight, not a good idea. And we'll get to her later, but yeah, I played Marnic. It's not my favorite play I've ever made. How wrong can I be at minus 275 or 265? I don't know.
Considering it's funny because I was watching tape on this before, I watch tape before I ever look at odds. So I'm not opposed to your decision based on the situation. If it was like minus 110, you don't play either of these really that much.
I'd probably play Souza.
Yeah. But Marnic is just so bad. I mean, she is slow.
I know.
She's just really, really bad. The only thing with but Souza's not infinitely above her. So as I was watching tape, I was like, well, I think Souza wins just because she's not Marnic Mann. And Souza's striking isn't bad, but it's not amazing.
It's one-off overhands and yeah.
But it's better than Marnic's.
Yeah.
Her jiu-jitsu,
It's good.
I think is good. It comes down to the wrestling, and they both have the same bad wrestling where it's kind of a body lock. Somebody goes for something, and who ends up on top? And it's like who falls first and just like bellies out and kind of goes down. I think that Marnic can actually end up on top a couple of times in these weird scrambles. However, that is if it gets to that point, because I don't know that Souza is going to be the one initiating the clinch, because I think her striking is going to be just good enough to like punch and then move and then kick and then move. And Marnic, I don't think is great at striking or closing the distance or even wrestling. And so I think if Souza were to like try to wrestle Marnic can kind of float her hips a little bit and just end up on top. But unless Souza tries to offensively wrestle and fucks up, I don't know that Marnic is going to be able to offensively wrestle and win. And I think both of these girls have the same bad end up on the bottom-ish style, but sometimes they will end up on top. And so I've got to lean Souza here literally just for being better in the other areas besides the weird. You have to just hope that Souza goes for a takedown and Marnic falls on top. And you have to hope that she does that.
I'm hoping. Trust me, I'm hoping.
Yeah, you have to hope she does that in 2 rounds to win enough.
I know. It's a bad bet.
Yeah.
Even as an underdog, it's probably a bad bet.
I don't know that it is. I think it's a 50-50 fight. So the odds, I think, are in your favor.
Realistically, I should have passed on it. I don't think it's a 50-50 fight. I think it's a 70-30 fight, Souza. So for the people that keep track, I'm going to pick Souza to win. I played Marnic as a value play, and I personally, I'm in between of like, this is the worst play ever, and maybe
it's not bad considering the odds.
Yeah, considering the odds. So, I'm going to pick Souza to win. I'm going to figure out if I need to get out of this Marnic play or not. I need some more time to think about it because Marnic is not great.
And I'm sorry to say this. I think Marnic might be the worst fighter in the UFC right now.
Right now. Yeah.
Not that we've ever had, but she might be the worst in there right now.
Okay. Weston Wilson has a fight coming up.
No way.
So do you retract that statement?
I don't know.
All right, next. Yeah, guys, bear with me on the names today.
Okay. John Smith.
Yeah. Dontale Mays. Is that correct?
Dontel
Mays plus 105 and Caio Machado minus 125.
You need to get a little more urban. We need to take you out more.
Caio, is it Caio Machado? Caio Machado.
Caio.
All right, cool. Minus 125. Let's go.
Man, Caio, he's just so bad, and he won a fight and he lost a close decision to Mick.
Yeah.
And he's just wild in there, but I can't tell if he has really bad cardio or if it's just weird style where he throws and throws and then he's like, and he's just like moves and you're like, oh, he's dead. But then he'll throw again. I'm like, oh, wait, he's not dead. Is he playing possum or what? His jiu-jitsu's not bad. He might have some of the worst. If Marnic Mann is the worst fighter in the UFC right now, Caio Machado might have some of the worst takedown defense in the league right now.
Okay.
So then you have Dontel Mays on the other side, who's kind of slow. I thought he was faster than he is. I'm rewatching.
He just got fatter. He used to be fast.
Yes. But he moves well. He throws well. Good 1-2s down the middle. He's not bad. He's just a little lazy in his fighting style. I don't know.
Probably in his real life too. He's developing a gut.
Yeah, and breasts. I mean, like straight up.
Imagine if that dude
breasts.
took anything seriously. He's got all the athletic gifts.
Yeah, I think him training at Elevation in New Mexico helps.
He's been there forever.
Yeah. Well, no, I know, but I mean, if he wasn't at, if he was at sea level or something like that, it would be way worse. So, but he's not bad. He does a good job of clinching. He can actually wrestle. His top game is decent. If Caio was anybody other than Caio, I would take Caio. But I think Dontel, for as fast as Caio is and how much he likes to fight, I think Dontel is smarter. And I think he can crash and push on the fence and get a takedown when he wants. And so I think he's going to be able to dictate when he wants to fight on the outside on his terms. And then when he wants to like clinch and push to the fence or even get a takedown, I think because he can dictate where the fight goes, I think Dontel is going to win this.
I would smash a Dontel line if I knew that he would stick to a game plan, like a Parisian game plan, where he would just go and take him down the whole time, because he is athletic. He moves well. He's got a good sense of grappling. His strikes are decent on the feet. Like, he's got all the tools to win it. Literally, the only thing about him is his fight IQ.
Yeah.
That's it. And sometimes he sits there and he stares at guys and doesn't do it. And so for me, this fight's really tough because I'm like, man, one guy, skill for skill, is better. Like, Dontel is way better in every area than Caio, but Caio's like the little engine that could. He just never stops.
Keep swinging.
He just keeps swinging, throwing, doing stuff, moving, scrambling, doing everything. He's always doing stuff.
But you're talking about fight IQ. You're talking about a guy who could have been 1-1 going into the third with Mick Parkin, and Parkin like fell on him and he just lied down in his guard. And it's like, come on, like he's so willing to 1996 hoist Gracie Jiu-Jitsu from his back.
Because he's Brazilian. How can you trust him?
You can't.
Yeah, plus money on either side of this was interesting. I think I like Dantel here. Honestly, level of competition too. I like Mick Parkin. I think he's decent. I think he's fine. But going to a split decision with Mick Parkin is a lot different than fighting guys like Nascimento and knocking out Arlovsky. Arlovsky can strike, and he's trying to win these fights. It's not like he's just turning his back and keeling over. So give me Dantel at plus money.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have Austen Hubbard plus 130 against Michael Figlak minus 155.
Let us know your thoughts.
Okay, this is funny. There's this guy that like hates on me on Twitter all the time. Hilarious. He's like, you stupid racist fuck. You always are talking about lines that you got that don't exist. I wish I could do that. And it's like, you can. It's called Bet Online. You can jump right on there. As soon as they come out, you can bet the same lines that I bet to. It's not like I'm tipping them out or whatever. But anyways, I got Figlak at minus 130. He's minus 156 now. I was super high on Figlak coming into the UFC, and then Ziam beat that ass, and he did it in a really unconventional way, a way that we weren't expecting. It wasn't like he picked him apart from the outside. He did crack him a few times, but a lot of throws, a lot of trips, a lot of stuff. The thing with Hubbard is Hubbard's a traditional wrestler. He wrestles singles, doubles. He wrestles on the legs. Figlak's good at defending legs. He's good at defending doubles and singles. What was tripping him up was Ziam was doing throws. He was doing what do you call it? Body lock throws, and he was doing what is it?
I don't know. Wizard kicks?
Wizard kicks, yeah. But
I'm American.
In Japanese, whatever. Osotogari, no, that's the outside one. Anyways, he was doing that kind of stuff, and that threw him off. Like, completely threw him off. It wasn't an angle that he was expecting. And Ziam, long enough and had pretty good jiu-jitsu. Here, like, I like Hubbard. I like Hubbard's game. He's like solid all around, not excellent anywhere, but he's kind of good everywhere. I think Figlak's going to break him down, and this is going to be the performance that we were kind of expecting from him when he did finally make it to the UFC. He's got good boxing, relentless pressure, good first level takedown defense, at least on singles and double legs. Hubbard's fine and cool, but I think this is a good buy low spot for Figlak.
I agree with you 100%. I think Hubbard is tough, and that's kind of where I end it. Like he's fine. He'll get a takedown. He doesn't really do much with it. His ground and pound's not amazing. His control isn't amazing.
Look at the Holobaugh fight. Holobaugh just got laid on for 15 minutes with no answers, and he beat his ass on the feet, triangled him on the ground,
Well, and then you look at the Holobaugh fight. I think it was a round. I don't remember if it was late in round 1 or even in round 2 where Hubbard was shooting, not even being able to take him down. And a Holobaugh, you sneeze on him and he falls down twice. Like Figlak is good, man, and he will grapple. He will transition. He has a really good pressure. I think he's Holobaugh who knows how to defend a takedown.
Yeah,
and I like Figlak a lot here. Man, especially be one thing if Austen had finishing abilities, but he doesn't. And so I think you give Figlak 15 minutes to finish you. Even if he doesn't finish you, I think he's going to put a big beating on him.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. He's a painful guy.
Yeah, I like Figlak here a lot.
All right, next.
Can I call somebody out really quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
First of all, MMA, MMA Plate 365. Like, get your shit together. This is the worst service in the world.
Is that the one that had Matheus Figlak?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got Matheus Figlak. You got fights that aren't still up there. I don't know why I'm still signed up for this shit, but like some quality control guys. Like there's one UFC fight card a week. Like you have 30 people working there.
FightShock.com had Michael Figlak.
I mean, it's pretty clear, and that's free site. I pay money every month for this bullshit.
Don't do it. I pay for that as well. Remember when I was paying for the fake one and thought it was the real one, and then we found out it was the fake one.
The fake one was even better.
And I was like, wait, this isn't even the real one?
Shout out 205.
Shout out 205. Anyway, all right.
All right, next we got Rani Yahya plus 390 versus Victor Henry minus 520.
This one.
Okay. I already like how you're starting off.
Well, remember, we were all...
I'm going to do it.
We were all on Victor Henry with Rafael Assunção, and he shit the bed.
Okay. I can't get a Victor Henry fight right.
I can't either.
But this is where it all changes.
Henry, the thing though is we watched who is it? Gravely. Tony Gravely, take him down. The only thing with Henry, all right, look, Yahya's old. His stand-up sucks.
Come on, it's not that bad.
No, his stand-up sucks.
He's a black belt in Muay Thai. They don't just hand those out.
True. He's amazing.
Did that throw you completely off? They say that every time he fights. He's a black belt in Muay Thai and in Jiu-Jitsu.
Dude, his stand-up sucks. And he's old. But, dude, Victor Henry's only 36. This is 36 to 39. These are two
senior
old
on
eggs.
senior crime. Yeah.
This is not right. So, look, Victor Henry's fast. He moves. He does all the right stuff. The thing that worries me is he gives up his back when he gets back up. He gets up and he turns his back and he does a good job of shaking people off.
Those people aren't Yahya.
Those people are not Yahya. And so I think Henry can win this fight. I wouldn't touch it because it would not surprise me to see Yahya get that head on the outside single, sit him, and then Henry go to get up, and then there's Yahya on your back. I think Henry wins because I was looking at who Yahya is submitting, and he is submitting the lower echelon of fighters.
So Victor Henry.
Yes. No, Victor has never been submitted. I don't believe, maybe early in his career.
Never had Yahya on his back.
I know. I think he's going to have enough of a sense of urgency. I think he can get it done. I am really not certain that Yahya does not choke him out.
Yeah, okay, this is what's going to happen, you guys. Hey, look at me. Can we get the goddamn camera work good to go finally?
Yeah, like what's going on?
Every time I'm like, hey, zoom in on my face. It's like fucking up here. It's like down here. I always get cut out of the frame. We need more stuff.
Is he in the frame?
He's good.
Are you go? You're in the frame. Go.
Right here.
Rani Yahya is winning this fight. That's all I got. Now you can zoom back out.
Okay.
No, I mean, you're right. The age is like a thing. People think Victor Henry is like new and young. He's an old man. And not that old. He looks like he's been in LA kind of doing like that like age reversal processes kind of stuff. Right. I'm sure he believes in that and kind of does that stuff. But, you know, Yahya does jiu-jitsu. He honestly, his wrestling's not bad for a pure jiu-jitsu guy.
Wrestling's great.
He swings around people. He finds their back always and jumps on their back. And Victor is willing to play guard. He does it a lot. He's always doing rubber guard and Josh Barnett stuff and catch wrestling. He's willing. He's a willing participant. And like you said, he gives up his back when he gets up. And Rani Yahya is a different kind of black belt. Here's the way to play this, guys. Rani Yahya pre. Take Rani Yahya now. Rani Yahya has bad cardio. So he's going to win one. He'll probably win 3 to 4 minutes of round 2. And then when Henry gets up, he's going to put it on him. And then there'll probably be a swing round in round 2. Round 3, he'll be completely dead. And that's when Henry's going to start cooking. But you can hedge out by then. You'll have huge plus money on both sides. You know, and if he gets that first round sub, then you cash, you win. It's all good. I don't know. I think there's a big upset factor here. You know, the volume in the feet shouldn't be close, but Yahya's not going to stay there for long. He knows where he's good and where he's not good. That's the one thing. You've always told me, be Rani Yahya. Know your game. Go out and just do that only. Like, don't worry about everything else. Like, go take people down, take their back, and choke them out. I think Rani Yahya, I know he's old bastard, and people don't give him credit. Dude, he beat Mr. Perfect, and I get it.
He's really hard to take down and hold down.
And he did.
Yes.
Yeah, and he did. Like, he's good. Montel Jackson, different animal. Like, that dude is tough. But he's beating good guys, like, even late in his career. Give me Rani Yahya. You can do jiu-jitsu forever.
I'll switch. That was all I needed. I thought I was going to be alone. All right.
Next up, we have JSP versus David Onama. So we're not talking about this one, huh?
No.
You guys want to say?
No, JP just says the funniest shit on the planet. So
you mean today when he goes, so how early do you think I'm going to take down Impa? I said, hey, you want to check that apology, man. Impa's in the PFL and he's a heavyweight.
Who's up next?
All right, next up, we have Tim Means at plus 250 versus Uroš Medić minus 310.
This is my
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Medić is better than I remember him being, and actually does a lot of stuff well. He's not bad. He has good cardio.
That's actually the only thing he doesn't have is cardio. Like that's just been his big knock.
No, but see,
Now he does. Now
I
he's
remember
hit.
that, but his cardio looked good his last 2 fights.
Yeah, but it didn't before, like in the Turner fight.
Yep, it looked bad before. But actually, I mean, it looked good in his Weddy, whatever his last fight, the first round. Then he death gassed. And then so it makes me actually wonder if his cardio looked good in the Semmelsberger fight, which was in Utah Elevation, only because he went there really early and Semmelsberger didn't. So maybe I might actually be overstating his.
I think he's fine. I think that dude knows how to fight now.
Yeah.
Like he looked pretty. You defended 7. Like you're trying to you got taken down 7 times.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna get tiring.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff better. He looks better. He's good on the outside. He's fast. I thought he was losing that entire Semmelsberger's fight until he won it. So I thought he was getting beat up. I like Tim Means, man. He
come on.
He was wearing some shots from Holland and some of these guys and eating them well. Tim Means on the inside is dirty. He's throwing those knees. He's throwing short punches. I like Uroš Medić on the outside a lot. I really think on the outside he does really well. Means rolls punches so much. The thing with Means is he just doesn't do a lot wrong. Like he just is. I mean, he's old, but I think he can clinch Uroš, and I think he can take Uroš down. His wrestling has gotten a lot better over
He's
the
a
years.
wrestling coach.
Yeah, he's a wrestling coach. His wrestling has gotten a lot better over the years, and he does a really good job of crashing people when they start swinging on him. We saw that with Fiallo a lot. And it's funny, both these guys fought the same guy their last fight, Fiallo and Semmelsberger, and they're both kind of on the outside doing a lot of the same stuff. But I think Means, if he doesn't get finished, I think he's going to look honestly really good in this fight. It kind of reminds me of remember that fight with Brahimaz and Court?
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that. The younger guy, who you kind of expect to do really well, and just the old guy who's like, yeah, I'm just going to shut you down after round 1. So I like Means on the upset on this.
I think to compare Ramiz and Uroš is like so rude and disrespectful. I get where you're going with that. Just it's the age thing you're referring to, but Uroš striking is amazing. The dude is sick. I actually had a moment with Uroš not that long ago.
Tell us.
So my girlfriend was refereeing a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Wait, the Brazilian one?
The Brazilian, yeah. No, the other one.
She's Brazilian.
And I was like, all right, well, you go do that, porra. I'm gonna go eat.
Poha.
So I went to go eat, and I make eye contact with this guy sitting out at the cafe, and he's okay. And so like I did this move. I don't know if you guys have ever done this move. I was like, I'm gonna follow up on this, so I'm gonna get something from my car. So I went to go grab my backpack, and then we kind of like eyed each other again. And I was like, Uroš? And he's like, oh yeah, bro, yeah. And so then we started talking. He goes, oh, I saw your shirt. It says, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then we were just talking, whatever. So I went inside, go sit down. And then first of all, so I'm watching some European boxing thing on some illegal stream, right? I'm in the middle of a cafe sitting at like the bar in the cafe. And you know how it pops up the ads when you're watching an illegal stream? Every ad that popped up was like, find sex now. And it was just tits on my laptop screen in a full crowded cafe.
Oh, women and children everywhere.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, X. I'm trying to exit out of it. And then like 30 seconds later, I feel a tap on my shoulder and it's Uroš. And he's like, hey, what's going on? And he's talking to me. And long story short, Uroš is now, he follows me on Instagram. He watches the show religiously. So you better take back all the shit you just said.
God, I retract everything.
I think he like maybe post UFC, he'll join the Discord. He's a cool guy, but he wanted to get involved. He's like, oh, tell me about. And I love Uroš. I think he's come a long way. I think his striking is next level. I would never, and let me repeat this. I would never make a case for an old man. He's 40 years old. I would never make
way older than 39.
I would never make a case for a guy that old to win a fight. Uroš is going to knock him out, and it's going to be impressive. It's a show me spot. So let's move on to the next one.
All right. There you have it.
All right, next. Jhonata Diniz minus 238 versus Austen Lane plus 195.
Go.
Deniz's time is coming and is not here. I wish. Lane reminds me of like Dontel Mays. Like he could do so much and he's just so bad. Chin up in the air, but he's so freaking athletic. He moves so well, but he's going to like, look at Tafa's last fight. Got laid on by a light heavyweight, a middleweight probably. Like that, Carl Williams is not a big guy. Laid on for 3 rounds. Lane was like, all right, let me find the hardest path to victory against Tafa, and let's do that. I will not shoot. I will just stand right here, and let's just swing bombs on each other, and we'll see who goes down first. And that was a great game plan. Ended him in the morgue, and now he's going to go against a guy who's got tons of kickboxing experience, clean, sharp punches. And honestly, even the couple of times people have got in on his legs, he's good at kind of keeping things in front of him. If he ends up on his back, maybe we see some trouble. I'm not rushing to play Diniz at minus 230 something here. That's not a great idea. But a KO 1 or KO 2 will be a nice price. I like Diniz to win here.
Yeah, Diniz is not amazing for how much experience he has. He's kind of slow. He doesn't really move his head.
I love how he throws his punches, though. I try to do it in sparring today, but he
thuds them.
He throws them like this, and all day today,
he casts them, just corkscrews them right down the middle.
I was like, man, I'm gonna throw him like this guy, and I was landing every freaking right hand I threw, just boom, boom. Is great. I love it.
But he's calm. He just doesn't care. He's relaxed. You just see him. When I was looking at this, I was like, man, there's got to be a way that Lane wins this. He's so big. He's so athletic. Like he can just blast double him and he gets on top and he's going to do it. Oh, and then I'm watching him fight and I'm like, dude, that chin in the air and how off balance he is. And then all he does is kick from the outside where Diniz is going to be like, his chin in the air. Did I mention his chin in the air?
Hey, producer Jamie, how old is he? Lane?
He is.
He's got to be 34, I think.
Lane is 36.
Oh, yeah, he's 36.
Man, I just, if they trip and fall and Lane ends up on top, absolutely has a chance to ground and pound his way out of it. But man, Marnic Mann has got to trip and fall and find her way on top too. And man, if we're going for those odds,
I get it. You said man again.
I think no.
I get it.
Yeah. I Diniz here. Yeah. Yep.
All right,
cool. What is this? Karine Silva minus 155 versus Ariane Lipski plus 130.
I for one, so kind of identified. We can always see these like hype trains out there, and my resolution this year, my New Year's resolution, was to stop betting against these people because I thought their early tape was so bad, and then they come out and just kill everybody, right? DDP, Benoit Saint Denis, Karine Silva. I faded her every single fight that she's had, and she always finds a way to win. And there's another guy on this card the same way. I'm like, man, this guy is horrible, but he keeps winning, and it's frustrating. So I've just made it like my mission to just either bet on them or just stay away completely. Like I'm not going to take the underdog because whatever. Now looking at this matchup, first of all, Silva's transition, her body has morphed.
She's a specimen.
Now, she didn't used to be.
No.
She was a skinny little malnourished Brazilian girl. Now she's a little lab experiment.
Extra acai.
I mean, if you can't tell that difference, it's one of the most dramatic I've ever seen. Frail, tiny little girl, and now she's like,
yo, what's up?
Hey.
Hey there, little boy.
Flank right. It's interesting. I think it's time to fade her, but actually fade her with real money, and it's the time. She can't wrestle is the issue. She is big and strong, and she swings bombs, and she hits people hard, but she's fighting really low level competition. And even Botelho, whatever her name was, first of all, beautiful. She was winning most of that round until the very last second when she wasn't. She's big. She can be on all the steroids in the world, but she doesn't know how to fight still. She burns herself out round 1, round 2, just swinging hammers, cranking every submission as hard as she can go. You know, she fought that undersized Ketlen or whatever her name is, Souza, in her last fight. Botelho, and then who was the other one? Marina Moroz.
Yeah.
Who barely wants to fight at all. Lipski, on the other hand, all she's seemed to do is just work on her patience, being calm in the pocket, and takedown defense. And it's funny, Lipski's takedown defense, she can be exploited. All she does is one little tiny baby underhook, and no girl can finally figure this out. Like, it is just brain busting for everybody. All you have to do is cut the corner, but this little underhook is keeping her afloat. But she has just looked like she's come a long way. Now, this line has been back and forth. It's been flopping. Favorite underdog. I think we're settling in now. Lipski, underdog. Man, I have to go Lipski for her composure, her skills, her striking is beautiful. She is like C-Rod as a woman. She just kind of stands there. All right, whatever you're going to throw. And she sets things up. She makes reads. I like Lipski a lot here. And, you know, I would just stay out of the Karine Silva path. Like I'm not going to get in front of that train, but I think it's time to finally step in front of the train. I think Lipski's composure, her calmness, her striking, her takedown defense, I like it.
Yeah, I was kind of the opposite of you. Pre-tape, I was like, I think Lipski is going to be the one to dethrone her. And I've been really high on Lipski lately with how good her takedown defense has looked, with how good her striking is. I mean, her striking has always looked good, but her striking has actually morphed. It used to be a lot more Muay Thai, and now she's sitting on her punches more.
Counter punches.
She's boxing. Beautiful. Yeah, she almost sits back and lets other people mess up, and then she's just there waiting. We saw her fight Casey O'Neill, who does not have the best offensive wrestling.
And even she couldn't get off the offensive wrestling.
Yes.
From what I heard, she got hurt with the first punch.
Yes. Yep. Then she's fighting Gato, who honestly had the worst game plan ever. Shot once, didn't get it, and then just never tried to like wrestle and grapple again. And then she fought JJ Aldrich, who we've kind of seen lately, who isn't as great as I think we were thinking a few years ago. I think her wrestling, I think was a better wrestler when she was fighting girls that couldn't wrestle.
You mean that unathletic white girl? We thought she was amazing? Oh, shocker.
Yeah. When she was, so we've got Karine Silva, who is beating girls who aren't amazing, but she's finishing them. And she's looking really good doing it. It's funny, her striking looks really good, and she won't land a punch. Like it was against
Botelho?
Yeah, Pollyanna, who she's moving and she's throwing a jab and looking the part and doing the switches. And I don't think she landed a punch until she landed that overhand. But she does have power. She does land it. And then her top game jiu-jitsu is good. Her jiu-jitsu is good.
It's good. Yeah.
And her submission game is great. With that, Mariana Moroz, she just held on to that over head and arm. And then she just stayed, and just like Moroz was trying to like scoot around her, and she just like inch, threw it in, finished her with 2 seconds left in the round. She is good. If she gets on top, she's really good. Oddly enough, and this has never happened since we've been doing this, I actually had a dream, because I was kind of going back and forth about this.
Whoa.
I had a
Where
dream.
is your wife? She's out of town. This is how you're talking.
Dream. Oh yeah, Kindle leaves. I'm having dreams of women MMA. That Karine Silva finished Ariane Lipski with a head and arm triangle.
Let it be known. Hey, can I give a shout out really quick?
Always.
When Bobby Green and Tony Ferguson fought, friend of the podcast, John Gray, he tweeted this like 5 minutes before the fight. He's like, just wait till Bobby finishes Tony with a Darce choke. And then it's exactly what happened.
Really?
And he put it with confidence. He said it with his chest, and that was incredible. So we'll see if this happens.
Yeah, I like Karine Silva. I think, man, even her wrestling's not amazing, but man, when she gets in on a leg, she will drive versus some bullshit where shoot and then people stop your initial shot and they just stop. So I like Karine Silva here.
Oh, God.
All right, cool. In the co-main, we have Ryan Spann -205 versus Bogdan Guskov +170.
Man, Guskov, we've seen this dude.
This is who I was talking about.
I know. And he is just so bad. And then you see him, Pounga looks so good in that fight with him. Everything was like just perfect. He's just like hands perfect, stance, everything was perfect until it wasn't. But I like Spann here. He is massive. He doesn't know what leg kicks are or how to check them. But that's good because Guskov doesn't know what a leg kick is either. And his hands are low. Look, the low hands, tricky uppercut against a guy who's 6 foot is different than low hands, tricky uppercut against a guy who's 6'5". Man,
he's only going to be about 9 inches when he's on his back.
Man, Ryan Spann's like boxing is good. Beautiful 1-2s down the middle. Grabs people, throws them down. His jiu-jitsu is not bad. I like Ryan Spann. The only thing I don't know what I like is, do I like him by TKO or submission? I think he's going to...
That clear for you, huh?
Yeah, I like him inside the distance a lot. I just don't know if he's going to end up swinging on him and Guskov's trying to get up and he jumps on the neck, or if he ends up just TKOing him.
It's a lot of faith. I mean, I wish you could bet. You'd make a ton of money on this fight. I'm going Guskov. And for nothing, for literally nothing at all, I think Guskov is horrible. I think he's, a fraud. Like, I made a ton on the Ozdemir fight. Like, I don't think he's very good. I'm not going to jump in front of this train, the Guskov train. I've already bet Guskov at 175. I got to just see if it's going to keep going. I have the bankroll to support it. If I lose, I lose. It is what it is. I think he's going to chin Spann. And this momentum, this comical run that you think can't keep going is going to keep going. Our dear producer did this whole thing about DDP and how bad he was and talking backstage. Man, this guy looks horrible on the mitts. And the guy keeps winning. And it's comical, but he keeps winning.
Just wait till the next one, bro.
Yeah.
Losing the next one.
So for that reason, I'm out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going Guskov.
Okay.
Like literally for nothing more than this. Like,
dude, some of those like Benoit Saint Denis and then like DDP, like dude, none of it makes sense.
There's a few more of those people. Oh, Diego Lopez. Like the dude.
Nah, Diego's good though.
But he is good.
Diego's legitimately very good.
But what I mean is he's one of those guys that just got that aura about him.
Who's just not going to lose. He just decided not to lose.
If you put everything on paper, him and Sadiq, it's like, man, Sadiq's really good. In a vacuum, I'll probably pick Sadiq. But this aura factor, all right, I'm going Bogdan.
All right.
Main event time. You want to give a promo?
Do we have a promo?
Yeah, run the clip.
Oh, there's some technical issues going on
next
right now.
Next time.
Okay, next time. I guess our only sponsor is FightShock.com. And we have nothing else.
Dave Mason.
The Anarchist Cookbook, guys. Buy it? I don't know. It was just on the table. Like Jimmy John's. I see Jimmy John's. I'm like Lamp. I like Lamp. Like I'm just looking around the room at this point.
No, Dave Mason, sponsor us. I love your platform. Thanks so much.
Do it. Main event.
Matheus Nicolau minus 185 versus Alex Perez plus 154.
Are you going first? You want me to go first? What do you want to do?
We should talk in unison at the exact same time.
Okay, go.
That way it's unbiased. Go ahead. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one.
I like Nicolau. I think he's good as a whole. But my issue with these two, and it kind of comes down to this, is Alex Perez does a lot of defensive stuff really well. His defensive wrestling is great. He knows how to move well. He does even. You saw him in the Mokaev fight, and he defended a lot of that wrestling. But then Mokaev did what so many good jiu-jitsu wrestlers do, is they adjust, and they go to the back. And instead of trying to, put people onto their butt, Mokaev got shut down in that first round quite a bit, except toward, right toward the end. But then second and third round, he'd shoot, boom, slide out to the back. He wasn't trying to, put Perez down. He stopped going, battle in the bull. And that was the real difference right there. And Perez's defensive wrestling is great. His striking is not amazing, but he does a good job of doing a lot of the right things, quote unquote. the thing with him is it's his offense that I don't find compelling. Like he's not out there like swinging for the fences or so clean or offensively wrestling and taking people down and controlling them. When he offensively wrestles, he gets choked or he gets out jujitsu'd. So then he defensively wrestles, so it keeps him standing. But then he kind of is just there throwing, but it's not like, I just don't know if he knows how he's going to win a fight. And then if you look at Nicolau, you see him so often just backing up and being passive and being passive. But he knows how to win a fight. As weird as it is, he's stepping back, and then as people swing, he makes a miss, and then he counters really well. When people do take him down, he uses jiu-jitsu to get back on top, and he uses jiu-jitsu almost like his defensive wrestling, and he scrambles well. He does all of the right stuff. He was the one who was supposed to be in this main event slot. Perez is coming off of, I think, 3 losses in a row and had to step in because Nicolau's dance partner pulled out. I think Nicolau is beatable. I really thought he was going to beat Royval, and then Royval came up with that knee, just kind of going swinging. I really like Nicolau's skill set. It's just his style is very boring to me. That stay back, let people screw up, and then he capitalizes. But he does capitalize well, and he knows not to be on his back. He knows not to jump for dumb stuff, and then if he does, he'll use it to get back up. So I like his fight IQ. I like his skill set. I think he's kind of boring at times just with the backing up and the non-engagement, but it works for him, and I like Nicolau here.
Nicolau's got all the skills. I mean, that dude is really, really talented. He's got great hands, great jiu-jitsu. Like, I remember taping him between his first stint in the UFC and his second. I was like, man, this kid he's a future champion. He's really good. I think Perez is tough, and I think 5 rounds is going to make a big difference. I think optically, you're already starting at a big disadvantage when constantly you're on the back foot. Just optically, you're fighting from a disadvantage. Because so much is rewarded going forward, whether you land.
I don't know if it is. Like, see, that's the thing.
Not in boxing, but in MMA.
No, people say that all the time. And in terms of a judging criteria, forward movement is actually not judged at all unless all things else equal. And that is like we have to, because they really do not want to give 10-10 or 9-9 rounds.
Yeah, because the judges are really clear and concise on what they're judge
not.
And score.
But the judging criteria, we've seen it lately, damage overall. Like, damage is the number one thing.
But if they have a sparring match where Nicolau boxes and Alex kicks his leg, then one guy's going forward.
All things. But you see it all the time. People are like, oh, if you're the one backing up, you're losing. Not at all, man. You see somebody swing and miss and then get countered. The judges know that that is a thing. And they understand the judges aren't dumb enough to realize just because you're backing up means you're losing, unless you're being timid and unless you're being bullied physically. But if Nicolau is backing up and Perez happens to be the one advancing, I don't think it's going to matter unless it looks timid and unless all things considered. But I don't know if it's going to get to that point.
I think he's starting at a disadvantage. Alex coming forward. It's hard because, we've always kind of looked at Alex like, man, this guy used to be so good and now he's just a complete fish and he's done with MMA. We never even thought he would make it to the cage again, and then he does and looks great and arguably won that fight against, a top prospect. Now,
against Mokaev?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I rewatched that and I was like, I really thought Mokaev won that. I don't. No.
Standing there like that. I don't know. It's close. I think the 5 rounds is going to be a big thing. I think Alex can compose himself over 5 rounds where Nicolau has a lot of explosive movement. He fights in bursts, right? He'll box and then he's back out and box and then he's back out. But yeah, I don't love this main event just from a betting standpoint. Not for me. I guess if anything, and this is a really bad breakdown, I apologize for you guys. I'll probably play. No, I'm not going to play anything, but I like Alex, I think, in this spot.
How does he win? Just being busier,
pressing forward, mixing in takedowns, pressing them, punching them. And that's the thing. That's not a great person that you want to bet on, as a guy that doesn't have he's going to knock him out. Or
that's my thing is I just don't know how Perez wins. I know how he doesn't lose. I know how he defends. I know how he doesn't get hit. I know how all of the defensive things, but I don't know how he wins. Like,
all right. I'm back on Nicolau. I like Nicolau. I mean, the dude is really talented.
He's very talented. And I don't think he's the greatest in the division. I don't think he's ever going to fight for a title, Well, I mean, in that division, maybe
He could fight for one.
Yeah, he could, just because there's so few people in that division. I just don't know. I just don't know how Perez wins.
All right, I'm with you then. You took me.
Do you think he could win a decision, Brendan?
Yeah.
Perez, you're saying?
Yeah, I think he could.
But again, even if he does, I think the way that Perez wins a decision is people shooting on him and him defending and then swinging
and then getting tired. And
yeah, but I don't know that Nicolau is going to be that guy to do it. I think it's it would be like Mokaev and Perez in 5 rounds. If Mokaev kept shooting and Perez kept sprawling and stopping the shot and then swinging off of it.
Wouldn't that be fun to see in 5 rounds?
Right,
Perez would kill him.
Yeah. Yes, I think he would. And then, I think his defensive movement is great. His offensive movement, and against a guy that I don't know is going to really be offensively wrestling on the legs, I just don't know that it comes into play much.
All right. Well, then that's a show.
That's a show. That's a wrap. We out.
Go pick up your children.